I'm not the first victim. I'm just the only one who didn't pay the mavuso. Yes. You know what I mean? It's a common thing. She's been doing it. She's known to do it.
Is it something you can prove, Nota?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. You know what I mean? This are part of the submissions that were sent to the prosecutors.
So you also had supporting statements from her exes?
Yes. I had evidence.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Her chats, her messages. When I'm telling you that she's admitted that she does this to politicians or businessmen and stuff like that, I've got her chats.
And you submitted those?
Yes, I submitted everything. So the whole entire thing was that, you know, my case was that I'm being blackmailed.
I've been through hell and back, nobody by my side, nobody to console me, nobody to call home me. Hey, what the man got toma, but then you got tonga. I've been through hell and back, nobody by my side, nobody to console me, nobody to call home me. Hey, what the man got toma.
Hi ninjas, how are you doing? It's your girl Owamie, and welcome back to another episode of To Hell and Back. If it's the first time joining me, give it a welcome. Please do make sure that I subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you. Now my ninjas, we are back, and we're back with someone who needs no introduction. We are here with Nota.
Yay.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. And how have you been?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Finally, you've made it to Hell and Back.
Well, I've survived.
You've survived, ne?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I think I would like to start off by just saying congratulations.
On?
We also the news. The charges have been dropped. I mean, you know, this is like really the reason I actually wanted to bring you to Hell and Back so that we can just talk about this. Yeah. Because ever since the news broke, I did do a video on it, but I never invited you. And the reason for that was because I genuinely was scared for you, Nota. Like, I was so scared. And I was like, I don't want to bring you in and you talk something or you say something that would end up getting you into trouble with the law. And I genuinely was really concerned for you. So I would like to just say congratulations.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. Well, thank you for your well wishes. And yeah, man. Sure. I don't know what to say. I'm happy that you know, the case is over because it's been something that's been hanging over my head. But, I mean, the damage is done. So it doesn't really help that much now that the case is over. I still need to sort of rebuild or get back to what I was doing before it distracted me or took my focus. So, yeah, I'm glad about that, I guess. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, so anyway, as I've said, I feel like Nota does not need any introduction. However, maybe there is someone out there that does not know who Nota is. So can you please just introduce yourself?
Well, okay. For those that don't know me, my name is Nhlamulo Badoy. I'm still 34 years old.
Going on 35?
I'm still 34 as of this recording.
Okay.
I guess I'm a music producer, executive. You know, I've become somewhat of a social commentator now, and an aspiring movie producer, I guess.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess we share one thing in common.
What?
That.
Oh, you want to make movies?
Oh, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
Like.
Yeah, make them.
I should.
Yeah, you make them for TikTok for now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we all start somewhere. For YouTube, like I actually want to go into like proper movie making. Obviously, the quality is not going to be the same as like, those expensive big.
professionals,
But it would be something enough for people to watch. I mean, my quality, I feel like
it's a lot better.
It's a lot better than
than a lot of people, I guess. So, and I mean, these days, people just want to watch the content for the stories.
Yeah.
And if Nigerians could do a whole entire industry
exactly
with, those low budget films, then, there's nothing stopping us from entertaining people, from making movies. But yeah, that's a little brief introduction as to who I am for those that don't know. Yeah, and I'm a ninja.
Well, you've been a ninja, actually.
Yeah.
If you've watched my main channel, you will know that we've had Nota. How many times have I had you? Is it once?
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4.
I think it was the other time, the episode, I lost the footage, so it never came out. But
we did 2 episodes together, and then we did a part 1 and a part 2 of another one. Yeah,
yes,
so we've done
2
episodes together.
So you did come, and we were talking about your divorce, which is finalized. We don't even need to go there. We've spoken. If you actually want to watch that video, I'm sure maybe I will link it in the description, or you can go to Owamie Entertainment, search it, and you'll find the full story.
Yeah.
Now, right after you left, after we shot that video, we were talking about your divorce.
Yeah.
Something absolutely crazy happens.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was right after, but yeah.
It was not right after, but I'm talking about
maybe
it
a couple
wasn't.
months.
It wasn't 3 months though, if I'm not too mistaken.
Yeah.
After that episode aired, you are accused of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And
shocking. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first I was blackmailed.
Okay.
To say that I will be accused.
Okay.
And I guess I responded to that the best way I knew how, which is like, if you feel like you want to do something like that, you're more than welcome to do that. And so she made right on her promise to, invite a third party. And from then on, I had to think quickly and preempt, the next step. So I got a call from the police saying that, they'd like to question me about a case that's been opened against me. And then I called my lawyers to let them know what's happening. And then I got a protection order the very next day. I think the police called me on the Thursday. And then I got a protection order the very next day. And the protection order was basically against the extortion, and the blackmailing that, these charges are going to be put against me. And, from then on, I had to go give a statement to the police. So the following Friday, I went to go give a statement to the police. And because of the schedule of the crime that I was accused of, they had to keep me in police custody until I could apply for bail with a magistrate. So the only opportunity for that was then following Monday. So I spent a weekend at the Randburg holding cells, and I was granted bail the next Monday of 5,000 rands, and I don't know if my sister still wants that money back.
I mean, you are supposed to go and get your bail money.
I know, but she paid my bail, so...
If she doesn't want it, it's fine. I'll be your sister. I'll take it on her behalf.
I think I might need it because, just this whole entire process, the legal costs were astronomical. From just getting the protection order, handing in my statement, going to trial, with all the postponements, I mean, the first sitting was postponed. The second sitting was also postponed again because the complainant changed her statement. So the prosecution said that, because the statement has been changed, they want to make sure that they've thoroughly gone through all the processes before deciding whether or not they're going to prosecute. And ultimately, they stuck to their original decision, which was that they were going to withdraw the charges. And I know that out there, the narrative is that the complainant withdrew the charges because there was a statement that was posted on social media, but that is completely false, and it's also not procedural. If you open a case, the prosecution is who decides whether the charges are going to be withdrawn or not. There was a case with DJ Maporisa and Tuli Pongolo. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Remember, she wanted to withdraw the charges, and the prosecution still needed to decide whether or not they were going to withdraw the charges or not. So, I didn't want to make a big deal about it. I didn't want to make like a big statement or make a press release about it because I didn't find it as something to celebrate. It's been a really taxing ordeal emotionally and draining. I haven't really had time to process how I felt about the whole entire process. But, you can tell the difference even if people believe you or they don't believe the allegations around you. Because of how serious they are scared, to be associated, to be near you. You know what I mean? Just things like that. The people will crop you out of the picture just because, there's a cloud around you at that time. And I'm not speaking about it like literally, but figuratively speaking, also, it changes your relationship with the women around you because any women that are seen to be partial to you are then viewed as though, they are either, justifying your actions or they're they're
supporting.
Yeah, or supporting someone who's a violator of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was taxing in itself, so yeah, that's the worst part about it. And then also my privacy, in defense of myself, I was put in a situation where, because people are asking me, when the news came out, even you asked, okay, what's going on here? And I didn't want to give you a statement or a quote as in, hey, Owamie, please don't believe this or whatever. I just sent, here's a zip.
Yeah.
Look through the text and you'll decide for yourself.
I remember, I think you sent me, was it an article first or something, a link though?
Yeah.
And when I remember I was busy because I was like, what is this? Like, for me, I didn't even open it. And you were like, just open. And when I opened, at first I thought you were playing a sick joke. And I think I was like, not to stop it, know. And you were like, no, I'm serious. Then you were like, I'm not saying you should make a video about this or anything. But like, I want you to just get all this information. And you sent me everything. Like, it was like a whole thing. Like, all the WhatsApp messages that were there. And I was going through them and I was honestly just in disbelief. I was in disbelief. I can definitely never look at you the same again.
Why?
No, like, there's definitely a side to you that I didn't know.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, what you are saying, like, it really is true. Your privacy was definitely violated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it depends on your relationship with someone. So there's certain things that, if my text between me and you were to leak, I wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these ones were really intimate, you know what I mean? And then I had to think, ish, my family, you know, is going to be privy to all this. My mother, my sister, you know, and yeah, my dad as well, you know. It was just tough to have to put people that care for me through such an ordeal, you know, because their support comes at a great expense to themselves. So, I mean, just having everything out there like that. Also, that picture was part of of the text messages. You know, I think it was the day I met the complainant, and she asked one of the security guards, "Oh, let's take a picture." You know what I mean? And it's my favorite jumpsuit or my favorite outfit. You know what I mean? It's like a one of one. It's a kid super. It's really a high end designer jumpsuit, and now like the picture is everywhere, so I can't really wear it much anymore. But I don't think it was like
okay.
You know, they ruined one of my favorite outfits. Having the picture up there, but yeah, having that all out there, I think it was good that people could just look for themselves, and I was completely transparent at that moment in time, you know, and I have nothing to hide, or had nothing to hide even at that point. So I didn't, you know, mourn the loss of my privacy that much, but it was a bit humiliating. I mean, even if, let me use you an example. If we've got a relationship, an intimate relationship or anything else, I'd like to keep that private. You know what I mean? Despite anything else that I might share publicly, that part of my life, I would like to keep private. Yeah, I wasn't granted that opportunity. And there was nothing really I could do about it. I mean, even when the media called me about the charges being pressed, you know, I had to send them the WhatsApp text and said, yo, just go through that. And I'm not making a statement, but just go through that. And then my statement is contained therein. That was a bit tough. You know, I remember the first article that came out in the City Press basically was like, we're hiding the identity of this person. And I was like, okay, so that's why they spoke to the City Press, because they're hoping to use it as some sort of blackmail. But the Sunday World also called me, and I gave them, you know, full permission to name me, even though I hadn't been charged. And even prior to being charged, I did a couple interviews as well, because I wasn't on the stand, you know what I mean? And there wasn't charges against me at the point in time, so I was free to speak about it at that point in time. And then when I guess it was finalized that, you know, this thing is going to proceed, this matter is going to proceed, it was about now raising funds for my legal team. And, you know, I'm grateful to all my friends and family that assisted me and made sure that at least we're able to put up a formidable defense. And unfortunately, they never got the opportunity to actually defend me in open trial, because the charges were withdrawn. But I'm grateful that, you know, what could have been a protracted process was shortened. And lawyers are expensive. I mean, every time they postpone, you must know that's like 20K.
Yeah.
It's like you have to pay your attorney, you have to pay the advocate for appearing, you know, the preparation for the trial, everything that's also very costly, you know. And now I can, proceed with all the other work that I wanted to do without having to, I guess, factor in the back of my mind that, there's reputational risk associated with me. And I'm just glad that part is over.
Which is why I said congratulations in the beginning. Because I know that this is not something that was easy for you, definitely, But I think that for me, I just want us to maybe get into people. I feel like there's a lot of people that are not really interested in reading. They don't really like to go through something. Maybe I'm just used to it because if I'm about to do a story and I know this is something serious, I need to make sure that I'm understanding the facts around before I can actually give my commentary.
And also us ninjas, we're unforgiving. We'll come for you in the context if you...
But I'm used to that. I think that I've accepted, and I think my followers have also accepted the fact that we will always agree to disagree if it's an issue where we're on crossroads. Because I'm not willing to say... I believe this if I don't, just so that ninjas will be happy for me. With me. Same way that they see something one way and I see something the other way, and I'm not gonna, you understand? I will agree to disagree and we keep it moving.
Yeah.
But for me, in this context, you sent the WhatsApp messages, right? And I actually wanted to go. I read through, but they were very long. You guys used to chat, hey? So I then went on to the day the incident actually happened. So I think we can talk a bit about... Can we be able to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So I want us to get to that night, if I'm not too mistaken. The day. She was the one that actually asked to come to you, right?
Yeah.
Can you please just, tell us?
Yeah, well, it's detailed in the messages. She asked if she could come see me. I sent her an access code, and then she drove from Kempton Park to my place in Fourways. Yeah, and she stayed, I guess, maybe less than 2 hours before she left, yeah.
So the whole incident happened within the 2 hours that she was in the house?
Yeah, well, the incident did not happen the way in which she said it happened, but
the act.
Whatever happened,
yes,
happened
whatever happened, not the incident,
2 hours,
so the act.
Yeah.
So the act happened within the 2 hours that she was there. You can go to the text messages; they're very explicit. They explain, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Well, explicit not from my side. I didn't use any explicit words.
Yeah. No, not explicit. I'm just saying.
No. There were explicit words used, but not by me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we all got the gist of sort of
Well, I don't ever text a woman as if I'm not talking to a lady.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So with that, I was very intentional that if ever my text messages were to leak, it must be something I can defend.
Okay.
So yeah, so
that
it is. That's just my MO.
Okay.
Unless I trust the person wouldn't betray me or,
okay,
open a case against me or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But then also, I think what maybe before we can even talk about this, let's get to... I saw from the beginning, you were the one actually telling her that I don't want a relationship. I don't want anything serious. You understand? So I think at that point, both of you, what I'm saying, guys, is facts that were in the text messages. So where did you guys meet?
She DM'd me.
She DM'd you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when the friendship basically started.
Well, the conversations. The
conversations,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she DM'd me. I think we met 2 or 3 days later, which is the day that that picture was taken.
So that was the first day that you guys were meeting?
Yeah, that's on the 24th of July.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, okay, you guys meet. When she was DMing you, what was it about?
Yeah, she wanted to meet to discuss business,
Okay.
so to speak.
Like, which obviously is for her career, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys meet, the meeting goes well.
Yeah, it was a brief meeting.
Okay.
And then after that, she sends messages. She's like, yeah, since I work near your place, is it okay if I come by to hang out sometime?
So she offered again to come to your house, and you agreed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then she texts you 3 days after you guys meet for the first time. And then after the day you met, when was the first time that you guys actually were like in a private setting?
Probably another week or two later.
Another week or two.
Yeah.
But in between you guys were talking.
Well, like when we're seeing one another, like, yeah, speaking, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
You would
I
have
guess-
conversations.
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when she came to your house the first time, nothing happened.
No.
You guys were just sitting, you were just talking.
Well, I mean, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Okay.
But I don't know. We did have some conversations, and then I think the next day she sent me a text and said, I don't know, things are moving quickly or whatever the case may be. But she was flirting with me, and I didn't really push back or say no. So I guess we're both adults. You know what I mean? I think she was born in 93 or something like that. I'm in 1990 or something of the sort. We're of a similar age range. And so, yeah, I didn't really think too much of it. But, she was like insistent on trying to have some sort of a formal relationship, which I told her that, I'm not willing to get into any relationship. And you must remember that we meet like a month and a half after my divorce is finalized. You know what I mean? So even with that, you don't just trust anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, she came to my place a couple of times. She came after work. She came with her work colleague a couple of times as well. She came with her kids. She, came with her nephew, and, yeah. And eventually, the last time she came, we ended up getting intimate, and then, yeah. And then all hell broke loose after that.
So how many times would you say she came to your house?
Probably like 5 times.
Before you guys were
probably like
intimate?
4 times, yeah.
4 times before you guys were
Yeah.
intimate. I mean, for me, that's really quick in terms of like you'd go to someone's house 4 times and you've already gone with your kids and everything. I mean, I know someone out there will say whatever, but for me personally, I just find it to be a bit too forward and very quick for me, because you don't know this individual that when you meet someone 4, 5, or even 6 times, I feel like you're still getting to know someone, like to a point where personally, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring my kids.
Yeah, I mean, things like that. So you're giving signs that, you're really trusting this other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're putting your kids in their care. But even more so than that, I mean, just from our conversations, I mean, I think there was one time where I think she was telling me that, she just got out the shower or something. I was like, too much info. And she told me, oh, I'm on my period. Again, too much info. Then another time she was like, hey, I'm at work. What are you doing? Can you bring me, sanitary pads? And I was like, what the hell? I mean, you won't even call your mother to stop what she's doing in a busy day to bring you sanitary pads. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I felt like, she's taking too many liberties. And even when she says things like that, I would express, yo, this is too much info. You know what I mean? So for me, there was no sign that, I was getting my wires crossed, or, I was getting mixed signals. I mean, it was very clear, the vibes that she was giving off. And yeah, I mean, even from our conversations, because that's what's left out of the text, is that, sometimes there's conversations that I had, and sorry, my phone just answered. Papa, I'm busy shooting. I'm busy shooting. Sorry. Sorry. I told my dad I'd be shooting at 1. Yeah, I guess it's 2 now. So there are conversations that I had that are outside of the text that you're not privy to. So I think those would go to further elaborate, what were the discussions. Even there were conversations of the day in question that were had in my bedroom on that day. You know what I mean? And from those conversations, one would never be able to imagine that she'd then come out the next day and try to paint it as if, she was violated. And in the way she did it. Also, if you look at those text messages, just the style of her texting, I mean, she shouts a lot in text behavior, like sending 5 or 6 messages back and forth.
That. Editing. Wait, the
deleting.
editing. Yeah, deleting, editing.
Do you know what I mean? And if you look from my side, there's none of that. You know what I mean? So, again, I could tell that there was a setup. So, when all the controversy came about, people start calling me. People that she's been in relationships with, people that know her, and then they start calling me, they start giving me additional information. And basically what I was able to gather is that, I was the only victim that she pressed charges against, and like I was sent conversations from people that she's been chatting to about these, I call it a Mavuso scam, because that's what it does. And then, in those messages, she's telling this person that sent them to me that, she does this to politicians, to, other people. And so it made me suspect that, maybe she was put up to this, or maybe she was sent to do this. It's just that I never got down to proving who it is that might have sent her, because I felt like, all I need to do is prove my innocence. And that's what I focused on. And as to whether, she's being assisted or being helped, what I do know is that when we met, she hadn't started her new job. She was about to start the following week. When she spoke about her job, even when she spoke about her text, she was complaining about it not remunerating her the way that she'd like to be remunerated. She was complaining about, just the workplace, the environment, her not wanting the job, and so when she then filed a counter protection order, in reaction to the protection order that had been granted, I then started to look at, okay, who's assisting her here? Because, with the rape case, the fortunate part for her is that the state covers everything. So the state paid for the costs of picking me up from the holding cells, taking me to go get processed and all of those things, going to the clinic, picking up the DNA kits and all of those things, doing the DNA swabs. Also, they have to pay Facebook Meta so they can get access to
the first conversation.
No, all the conversations.
Okay,
so they need to verify that those chats are real and genuine.
Oh, the ones from WhatsApp.
Yeah,
okay,
everything. They need to,
okay,
and then they are also able to see things that have been deleted, omitted, and everything else. So they do a full phone download. So those are
expensive.
Expensive. But the state pays for all of that. But now when it comes to now getting a protection order, that's your own lawyers that you have to pay for. So when it came to that case, which is still ongoing, she had lawyers, attorneys that she got. And I remember on the first day it was postponed because she didn't have anyone representing her. And she submitted to the judge herself, because she was representing herself, a letter from an organization that she said was going to assist her with her legal fees. So that gave credence to my suspicions that, she's being put up to this, and there are people that are behind this smear campaign. And that didn't put me at ease, but at least I knew that, the state is running with the case as far as the prosecution and the rape charge is concerned. And I was pretty confident with whatever I'd submitted to them, and from my discussions with the investigating officers when they did interview me and take my statements, that, everything that I'd given them was enough to exonerate me. So I wasn't too worried about that. But I needed to pursue the protection order for the extortion, because I had no other option but to ensure that, at least there are some consequences for what she's put me through. Unfortunately, now it's, two cases, one against the other. But with the original rape charge falling away, it only strengthens my case against her. And I guess I'm hoping that the family court will also decide in my favor and sanction her, because, the damage that she's done is not only to me as a human being, but, to the credibility of many victims as well. And she's just given credence to the general consensus that, many women open rape cases not because they've been violated, but because they are scorned or they're upset at not getting what it is that they want out of the man. And
I mean, I've said this, that it's not everyone that opens a case that has been raped. And I think it's such a sad thing. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it upsets me so much when there are certain things that you can just see. Like, if you can see and reason and think about it, like, there's certain things that just do not make sense. Those people that lie, they actually add onto the struggle of women that are real victims. You understand? Because now the perpetrators who did it now find a way to say, but look at Nota, he was also accused and that was not it. Or look at that person, and that is just so horrible. It really honestly is. And due to the fact that people actually do not fully understand, I feel like it also gives fear to the victims to even go and open cases, because now there's someone that is going to say, the police don't do anything. Even if I am a victim, they're not going to do anything. Look at that person, that case fell off, that person, that case fell off. And they're not understanding that it's because these other people, they were not telling the truth, unfortunately. Do you understand? Like, if you're even failing at the interviews or there's proof that is right here, you cannot argue with what is down here, which is facts. You understand? And then now you want to come with a different version or something. So I think it really is something that is just so upsetting. However, I also want us to get to how many days after you guys had intercourse did she now go open a case? Because I remember when it came to the, if you can remember, maybe time frame, because I remember in the text messages, it did seem like after that day or that night, I don't know, in the morning, that was when she tried to communicate with you, you spoke to her, but then the communication definitely got lesser and lesser before she now came.
Open the case, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it got to a point where, I called her a vile human being, because of what she was suggesting that she wanted to do. I think 21 days.
21 days after being sexually assaulted. And
Well, after being,
I'm
after
so
claiming
sorry.
to
Oh
be
my
a
god.
sexually
Oh my
assaulted.
god.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
it's all good.
No.
It's all
Like,
good.
okay, I think this is what I wanted to say. Like in
Yeah.
quotes, right? That
3
you
weeks,
3
yeah.
weeks after you are saying that you were violated, but
Yeah.
within that 3 weeks,
Yes.
she had made some demands.
Yeah.
What were those demands?
Well, yeah. I mean, the first thing was, her making the suggestion that she's going to open up my bedroom to a third party. You know what I mean?
Who's the third party?
The police.
Oh, okay.
So that's what she meant in those text messages when she said, "Oh, maybe we should ask a third party."
Okay.
That's what she meant.
I thought she meant a psychologist or something.
No.
Oh, that was the cops.
Yes, that's what she meant.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So that was the veiled threat. So immediately, then she started making ridiculous demands. It's either I meet your parents or whatever the case may be, and other demands like, yeah, do this. I sent you these songs. You'll decide what to do with them next. And it's like, you can tell that the person is not all there mentally, because, if you want to blackmail someone, you need to have serious leverage, like real leverage. You know what I mean? I can't blackmail you just because I think that I can run to the police and open a case against you. You know what I mean? It needs to be a case that I can be sure that you're going to get convicted of. Otherwise, you got nothing to fear. So she threatened me over something I had nothing to fear over. That's why I was like, okay, go to the police. If you want to open a third party, it's fine. The third party will find me innocent. The worst I'll get is some headlines about it. You know what I mean? I'll have to pay some lawyers to defend me in court, but I won't have to give you the money. You know what I mean?
Wait, did she also want money?
Well, I'm sure she did, but
she
she couldn't.
Okay.
Now she was gonna compromise herself. She was going to ask
for
outright for money. But I think her expectation was that, hey, okay, I'll pay you this. Just let's let this go. Because as I told you, I read through the messages that she shared with someone that she met in prison actually, when she was visiting prison, who was arrested for rape. And basically it was a he says, she said. He submitted his WhatsApps and his WhatsApps didn't prove him innocent, and therefore he had to serve the 15-year sentence.
What?
Yeah, but he's out on parole now, fortunately for him. So after she got the story from him, she had already been doing these Mavuso scams on people. She thought that, I could be her next victim. She also threatened that, she can, I don't know, give me a good name, make me see.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
I
I will let the whole, everyone will know you are this. And I'm like, okay.
If there's anything I want the world to know, I'll tell them myself. I don't need her publicity. I don't think, as a credible voice, she's got a more credible voice than I do. So even then, the offer is like, this person is in some level of delusion that is bordering on a form of insanity. And I kind of felt sorry for her, because I was also called by her ex-boyfriends and, people who told me about her family situation, which, isn't the most, pleasant situation that she's in. Also her needing medication as well, her suffering from whether it be depression or whatever the case may be, those are all things that I factored into however I respond to everything that was going on. And that's why, even when I did make a statement about it, I was like, to anyone that supports me, please don't now go attack her on my behalf. You know what I mean? I'm fully confident that I'd be able to prove my innocence, and I don't need her to be attacked as a retaliation. Let the law, let's follow the course of the law, and I will be vindicated. So just her responses to everything, it just wasn't reasonable. Like, her requests were just not reasonable. I mean, you make light of that. It's like, okay, fine. Why would you now want to be speaking to someone that's violated you? Why would you now want to meet their parents? You know what I mean? I think that's what you said.
Yes, 1,000%. And I will forever stand by that and ask the question.
Yeah.
I have never been violated. Thank God, because I know that in South Africa, like, that is a huge thing. We have a lot of animals in this country.
Yeah.
But there was an attempt once, and it was a very close call. Thank God it didn't happen. I was able to get away. And I was in university when that happened. It was a lecture. I literally, if I saw that guy walking in the same, I would change direction. And I know it's not only just a me
But you
thing.
didn't report.
I didn't report because it didn't happen. But the way that I was just like, he gave me so much fear because he physically overpowered me. So it was that thing where every time I felt weak, and I would literally like change the way, like I would change the way. I never even wanted to see that department. Like, that thing really traumatized me, and it didn't happen. And I know a lot of people that have been sexually violated. First of all, they never want to see the perpetrator. Second of all, they don't want anything to do with that person. If it's a matter of maybe, even if it happened when you were still young, and you couldn't report, you were young, I mean, and now, if you go, you won't be able to prove anything and stuff like that.
People avoid going home for Christmas.
Thank you, because there's that uncle that did something when you were young or something like that. So for me, I didn't understand, because what she basically demanded from you was like, you had a choice. So the choice you had to make was, it's either you introduce her to your family and you guys are in a public relationship. I remember that, because she also had that public in there as a condition, that is going to be a public relationship. You introduce her to your parents, or you're going to push her career. So for me, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, if someone violates you in that way, why would you even want to bargain? Why would you even want to give them an option where they can still touch you?
Yeah, well, I mean, because the person didn't violate you. That's why. The whole thing was a plan. Like, so it's very difficult to understand this, but I'm not the first victim. I'm just the only one who didn't pay the mavuso. Yes. You know what I mean? It's a common thing. She's been doing it. She's known to do it.
Is it something you can prove, Nota?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. You know what I mean? This are part of the submissions that were sent to the prosecutors.
So you also had supporting statements from her exes?
Yes. I had evidence. Sure. You know what I mean? Her chats, her messages, when I'm telling you that she's admitted that she does this to politicians or businessmen and stuff like that, I've got her chats.
And you submitted those?
Yes, I submitted everything. So the whole entire thing was that, my case was that I'm being blackmailed, and I was disgusted at the fact that someone would use something like this to blackmail me, but also at the same time I realized that there's no rationale, there's no reasoning with this person. I mean, there was a voice note of someone that called her, someone that she knew that called her, and in that voice note she says, I tried to negotiate something. So I'm like thinking, we never negotiated. Or if the chats from the 5th of September onwards up until the 24th of September, if that were her negotiation, then okay, maybe she can claim that was the negotiation. But to demand to be in a relationship, to demand that now I work for you, those are things that she never had the leverage for in any way, shape or form.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
If she had come out and say, pay me 50,000 rands, would you have paid?
I've already proven that I wouldn't have done any of the sort. I would have said, let us go to court. I wouldn't pay 10 rand if she asked for 10 rand. If she said it will be 10 rand, and then I'd rather pay the hundreds of thousands that I've paid to the lawyers to get past this.
I think the other question that I also have is, and I think if you know me, you know I'm a plus size woman. I'm a big woman, I would say.
I wouldn't say you're small. So
well, I'm considered plus size, like in the like real world. I am, like, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're short.
Yeah, but plus size, like, it's fat.
I guess I measure plus size from whether I can pick you up or not.
Okay. Nota, you can't pick me up. Yeah.
Well,
I am definitely plus size for you. But okay, that's fine.
I don't know you well enough to prove it.
Sorry. Oh, guys,
no problem.
I still have flu.
Let me grab
let
sip
me
of
also
water.
get
That's a cue.
a bit.
So you were saying yes.
So I'm saying that I'm plus size, and I can never go for plus size women because I'm one. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Plus size men.
No, I mean, I can never go for another woman that is plus size because I'm plus size. Like, I'm just trying to clarify that
like
before I ask
don't mean
this
going
question.
for them. Oh yes.
So there are many things that you've said about plus size women.
Like what?
Like, I mean, on Twitter, like, you've spoken about a lot, especially, and even like women with kids, single mothers. You understand? Like, you've been very opinionated with it, and I think that when you said you were being accused, and then I saw the woman, I was shocked. If you remember, I even asked, like, did you guys do the deed? And he said yes. And I was like, okay, confused. I'm so confused because you've said stuff, I won't get into that, but you've said stuff about, like, plus size women or women with kids, single mothers and stuff, and now you end up in bed with one who then goes on to accuse you of sexual assault. So now what I feel like what I want to know is, okay, just answer, like, you obviously were attracted.
You see, that's the thing, is that sometimes you're not attracted to a woman. She just throws herself at you. And because women don't know how to deal with rejection, you just think if you give her what she wants, and then you can get her out of the way.
But don't you think when you give her what she wants, maybe she will then get attached more? That never came to your mind?
I mean, attached how? Is she like if she's a virgin, then maybe that's something to consider.
No.
But if she's a woman that's been with many other men, that has a kid and all those things, I mean, she should either be crazy or delusional for her to just want to get attached to a guy. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why you make guys wait. You know what I mean? Like, you make them wait until marriage. You know what I mean? She was a 1-0. You know what I mean? Like, a 1-0. That's like when you just are intimate once and then you're out of there, So
was it, had it been that things didn't go down the way that it happened, wherein, I mean, she came to your house multiple times.
Yeah.
So if it happened that she didn't act the way she acted after, would you guys have continued with a sexual relationship?
No, it was a 1-0. Like, that is.
It was in one night, basically.
One day. It wasn't.
One day, because it wasn't night.
It was morning. She arrived at what? At like 11. You know what I mean? It was one morning, and that was it. She clearly been wanting it for what I can only say had been a long time, and I wasn't willing to go any further than that. So when she texted me, I was like, sort of got a suspicion, okay, she wants to come over, whatever. Cool. let her come over, let her get what she wants, and then she'll be out of my hair. And then, as for plus size women or whatever, I don't think there's any man that doesn't have like his idealistic type, right? But I mean, if you can get variety as a man, that's a win for you. That's a win for you.
What do you mean? Okay, so for me as a woman, I will not lie.
I mean, like as a skinny guy, like what are you made for if not bigger women?
Wait.
To be honest, think about it.
No, but there's a difference.
A big difference. Like I don't have a mkaba.
Of course.
You understand?
Yes.
I can fit in between the thighs. Doesn't matter how thick they are.
Stop.
I'm being honest.
No, maybe honest. We are just under.
I can reach further. You know what I mean?
No, like
because there isn't.
I mean, at this point,
boobs in the way.
Your personal business has been out there.
Yeah.
But what I want to know now is that you are talking about having variety.
I've been with bigger girls. Yes.
So you are also attracted, because I feel like you do. There has to be a certain level of attraction.
Attraction and horniness.
If you are plus size, please don't give it to Nota ever. Okay, he's just horny. He's not attracted to you.
So what's wrong with just being horny? There are plus size women that just get horny too.
No, but I think that for me, I will say this, that as a woman, I do not agree with the notion of, just because she's throwing herself at me, let me give her what she wants and she'll be off my head.
Because you're a woman.
Yes, because I'm a woman. Yeah. Yes, I'm talking from a woman point of view.
Yeah.
If you're a man out there and you think, okay, I'll be helping her by just sleeping with her and then, she will have gotten what she wants. That's not the case to us women. Most of the times, like when a woman sleeps with a man, I mean, unless she's got other ulterior motives and it's because she likes you. Well, let me say a girl, because mostly like when you're a woman, my age especially, I mean, we already know what it is, you understand?
Exactly.
So it's just like, but when you're younger, or you are a woman who's not as matured, or you just don't know, I don't know how to say this. It's somehow, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter whether if you already have a child, whether if...
I think we put women on a pedestal too much.
No.
Like I don't even think a majority of the women that live in res and go through varsity leave as virgins. I don't even think it's a majority. I think it's a minority that leave as virgins. You know what I mean? So when it comes to women and their sexuality, we always put it like in a little box, as if, women don't get horny, women don't hook up with guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And when we actually look at the numbers, women get intimate with more men than men get intimate with women. It's just the way it is. The guys in university are horny. Only the ones with cars get women. Only the ones with money at home get women. The broke boys, they don't get anything. They're watching Q7s, MLs, G-Wagons and everything come and pick up their girlfriends, and they're not getting any. So, very few guys are in a position where women throw themselves at them.
Okay. Would you say that you feel she threw herself at you?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I come into your DMs, not the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, you did come to my DMs. I didn't come to yours. Okay, well, anyway.
You know what I mean?
That's,
it's like,
okay, that's...
It's and not to say that there's anything wrong with a woman knowing what she wants, right?
Yeah.
Just that you can't expect the same level of respect if you're putting yourself out there as a woman who's not putting herself out there.
Yeah.
And just like appropriateness. So, I mean, I did post never pity fuck a fat bitch again.
Thank you.
Now, the thing is this, is that it had nothing to, it was indirectly about what was going on, right? So there was another plus size woman that I nibbled on. And then when this case came about, you know what I mean? Because she got upset at me because I refused to send her money. She once asked me for money. I don't do mavuso. I don't do it. I'd rather go to court and prove that it doesn't matter. It's like, you know what I mean? like you should be able to Uber yourself or drive yourself to and from my place.
I mean, that's a discussion for another day.
No, like honestly, come on, Owamie, don't you have gas money?
I have gas money,
And
but
so therefore, why is it now my responsibility?
you see, that's the thing, and that's why it's so important for being a woman and being with a man that really wants you. Because let me tell you something, the notion that we got from you saying never pity a fat bitch again was that you pitied her, and that's why you had.
Well, yes, I did pity her too, as well. Yes, that's
So, but that's the part that I'm saying. Like, that's why, for me personally,
I didn't pity her because she was big.
But why did you have to put in fat in?
No. That's why I'm saying that the big woman, no, the big girl was bigger than her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was bigger than her. So she asked me for money. You know what I mean? And I paid for an Uber back home as well. And she asked me for money, like, you know, and she had an attitude afterwards. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like a lot of money. She asked me for 300 rand. And I was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do this thing of being asked for money. You know what I mean? If my sister asks me for money, that's my sister, yes. Not you. You're a stranger. And we're adults. You know what I mean? You are adults. I don't owe you anything. And for me, I just don't do that. I don't buy women. Like, you know what I mean?
You know, but the other part that I'm also very shocked about, the episode of ours that never aired, you were talking about how before your divorce, you would never touch another woman.
Yeah.
You don't believe in that.
Yeah.
So up until the divorce was finalized, that's how it was. All these people that you're talking about now.
Well, I was celibate for 2 years.
You were celibate for 2 years during your divorce.
Well, yeah, during my separation. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, during your separation.
Yeah.
So after divorce, was that when you started now being with the other woman that you're talking about now that asked you for 300, or that was before?
No, that must have been
Before. It was finalized on paper.
No. I mean, like, so the separation happened, and then the divorce filing happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when someone files for divorce, you know that they want to divorce you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So after the filing of the divorce, that's when
like,
you moved
it's like,
on.
okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay,
you know?
okay, I get that.
Yeah, but okay. So when this case came about, which was then, this person then texted me, said, "Yeah, I hope whatever the worst happens to you." You know what I mean? She wasn't the only person that said that. Also, Pearl Tusi said that to me. You know what I mean?
But
like
you and Pearl
friend of mine-
Tusi have an issue, Moss.
Nah, I don't have an issue with Pearl Tusi. Pearl Tusi just started with me for no reason, and then she didn't like that I responded. You know what I mean? She started with me because I was trolling Casper, and then she got involved and said, no, she wants to be the fairy godmother.
No, but I think Peltus is like that, and I'm not even scared to say it.
Yeah.
She is like that. There was a time that the Ratokanyako spoke about me.
Yeah.
Then Peltusi joined in.
You understand?
And then when I now also, because I was like, no, you're not going to do that to me. She's blocked me. Like, and I'm like, bruh, you inserted yourself in something that had nothing to do with you. But anyway, we're not
what I'm
talking
saying?
about
Yeah,
her. We're
but
not going
either way,
to make it the center of
she
this.
she was pretty happy at what was happening. But, you know, if you look at my Facebook, I always say that, you know, my favorite size is 34. And that was since I was 17 when I posted that up, or 18 or something like that. So, you know.
Okay,
if
34. It's not small, it's not big. It's just, I feel like it's the perfect size. I mean, 34, 36?
34.
34, only strictly there.
Size 34. Perfectly size 34. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, the other smaller sizes, they're a problem to keep a hold of. You know what I mean? Now, anything that drives a car with 4 pipes is going to feel entitled to touching. Because, I mean, that's the smaller women, that's what they do. They go from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy.
Not
and the
all.
guys, come on. You blog about them every week. This one is dating this one. It's like, for me, if I've seen you with another nigga, or it's known that you've been with this guy, I don't want you anymore, because I don't want someone that has been with or is associated with another man's name. I don't want
You mean
that.
like someone public?
Well, for me, in my case right now, it could end up being public, whether I like it or not. So
no, I'm
either
talking
way.
about like you mean that like you don't want someone that is associated with someone public.
No, I don't want it to be known that I'm with someone who is associated with someone else.
But that will be close to impossible, hey?
No, a sneaky link is not out of the question. But let it stay private. You understand what I'm
So
saying?
it means like that's just a sneaky link. You see, you want a sneaky link, how you not you're wrong.
Did I not get married? Did
You
I
were.
not send all the cows that were asked of me? Did I not do everything that? So I've been let down by women, like completely.
But okay, let's say, because again, we're not going to talk about the divorce, but what I'm saying is that even if it was a matter of like one woman disappointed you, that doesn't mean that the rest of the women now need to pay because of this one person. One thing that I can actually say that I don't know if I should say proud of, but
What?
appreciate about you is the
What?
fact that in the beginning of the text, you did say you don't want a relationship, you don't want something serious. So at least
I don't lie to get
you
in
did
the
not
in the
lie.
pants.
That's the part that I'm proud of.
That's
Or,
it.
you know, at least she made a decision to enter whatever this was, knowing
Yeah.
that this was not a serious or a relationship.
And
because
she entered
that's what
knowing
you
that
said.
she's got a boyfriend on the side, which she mentioned.
Oh
You
yes.
understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like it was like, hold on. So you want me to be exclusive with you? You've got another boyfriend. You've got a kid. Like, why would I be a stepfather? You know what I mean? I don't
You
want to be a
see the
stepfather.
stuff that you say, not
No, I don't want to be a stepfather. Like,
Okay, that's
trust
a-
me.
a
At my
personal
lowest
choice.
moment, I considered it, but like I was like, yeah, I considered it at my lowest moment. You know what I mean?
no. I'm frowning at the lowest moment.
Yeah, at my lowest moment. You know when you're like, damn it, I'll probably never be able to get a woman that's only mine. You know what I mean? Because all the women are ruined. You know what I mean?
Ha!
Sometimes you go
Never, never agree
at your
to
lowest
that.
moment, don't you think that all men are bad? At your lowest moment.
Okay, at your
After
lowest
you,
moment.
while going through heartbreak, or you know what I mean?
There was
You
a
go
day I
from
posted
heartbreak
something,
to
eh?
heartbreak to heartbreak.
You
You know,
were like-
I thought I found myself a virgin at some point in time, and then only to find that she wasn't a virgin.
But you
Or-
also were
or
not a virgin.
She got de-virginized while I was in
Oh!
while I was in the States. You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
How
listen,
dare
I'm
you
going
want
to
a virgin
America.
when you're
I'm
not a
coming back.
virgin?
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm just going to America for a bit. I go to America thinking that, oh, she's a virgin. So, I mean, I got nothing to worry about. How? Only to find that, you know, varsity. Now at 34, every single relationship I've been in, it's been like the woman's initiating the relationship. And
Which
then I
is-
decide whether or not, you know.
Which goes against nature. So
You
let's
understand?
make this pact that the next one you have,
Yo,
you will
I
approach
don't know.
yourself.
I don't
If
have
you
the
don't
confidence.
approach, then
I-
just don't.
You see, the thing is,
Not
this is that my thing is that I don't like dating outside of my age range. You understand what I'm saying? So now, at my age, right now, where am I going to find a 30-year-old woman who hasn't been through hell, who isn't dealing with traumas, who isn't
You'll be a perfect match because you've also
medicated?
been going through hell.
No, I haven't been medicated. I'm not.
What do you mean medicated? Like,
for mental health issues and stuff like that. You know what I mean? All of those things. But like, if you get to the ages of 30 and you haven't had a relationship, you've never been married or anything else, it is a serious red flag as a woman. You know what I mean? As a woman, after the age
I
of
thought the red
25.
flag was for us that are divorced.
No, you've already been there.
Okay.
It just didn't work out. You got into marriage before 30. You did your whole entire thing. You just married the wrong person.
How did you feel watching people celebrate? Sort of like, you know, if you went on Twitter, you were trending.
Oh, yeah.
So the likes of, like, you know, as you said, Pel to see and
Yes,
others
Naledi,
that were...
whatever. What's that? Naledi M.
Malena.
Naledi
Yeah,
M with the long face.
Oh my God, I'm not even gonna.
No,
get into
no,
that
I'm
with
saying
you.
she's got a
I'm
long
not
face.
doing
She does.
that.
She
You
does.
said her name.
Chini.
That should be it.
She's got a long face.
No.
She does.
Um,
Listen, I said to her, she was celebrating. I said, I'll be out in 21 days. And yeah,
Okay.
you still won't be pretty. So
I'm not gonna get into that with you. All I'm saying is that
you're a beautist now.
I'm what?
You're a beautist.
Not. No. What I just want to say is how did you feel though? Because you know there were quite a few people. And do you think Uri, the reason why people were like sort of celebrating is just because they do not agree with the things you say? Or is there a different reason you think?
No, they're just jealous of me.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? No one can say, I disagree with what you're saying because my opinion is that this is factually incorrect because of this. It's just like, no, I just don't
It's difference
like you.
in opinions with most things.
It's not even a difference in opinion. It's like people don't want to hear my opinion. They just don't like me. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a mirror of their inadequacy. So when they see me, they see, why am I not as confident as Nota? Look at Nota. He's got skinny legs, but he's wearing his shortest shorts possible. You know what I mean? Why isn't he ashamed of himself? You know what I mean? It's things like this. So, you know, when you're like that and you're self-confident, you'll rub people off the wrong way. No matter what you do, you get the same thing, you know, as well. And it just comes with the territory. It's something that I've always had since I was a kid. For me, it was more like the quality of the people that are celebrating. You know, when Professor Pakeng was celebrating whatever, you know what I mean? I think it was two things. It was like, okay, she's a renowned individual, but also at the same time, what she is celebrating or what she's asking for, that I be sodomized in prison, I mean, says everything you need to know about her. So she's exposing herself, you know. So all my enemies exposed themselves. I was really happy about that. It's like, yeah, I had a suspicion that these people don't mess with me, but now they were all coming out and I could see them.
But did it hurt?
No.
It didn't.
It didn't hurt. Like, how can it hurt when my mother still loves me? You know, my dad, you know, was dressed very fresh every time he came to court because my mother would wake up really early, make sure he's got the best looking outfit, you know what I mean? Also, make Maltebella for me, you know what I mean? So I'd have 2 doses of Maltebella. The Maltebella I made myself and the Maltebella that my dad brought from home, you know, as he's taking me to court. You know, my sister supported me, you know, with funding my legal costs, paying for my bail, all that type of stuff. So, you know, those people are strangers. So their opinion of me doesn't really affect me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I now want us to go to the weekend you spent in the cell.
Oh, yes.
How was that?
It wasn't bad.
Without your phone?
Yeah.
Was that like horrible? Did you have like phone?
No, I went to actual prison after that.
You went to prison?
After that, yes.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes,
that time
I
actually was like,
KO thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Yes.
nah. Well, I don't think we should even mention his name. I don't
No,
want to.
they don't worry. I've done the time. I've been sentenced. I've done the time.
I think they can sentence
It's
you
over.
again.
It's over. Now I did the time. I'm out. I did the parole.
You did everything.
Yeah, no, I did
The
everything.
second time I was like, no time.
Yeah, well, that one was a long time coming because, you know, it was a warrant from 2023. So I knew that it was coming. It's just that they never had me in the jurisdiction where they could enforce the warrant, which is Randburg. So now I was appearing for the straight charge in Randburg Magistrate Court, which was the perfect time for them to nab me.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it was a nice preparation because I also knew that there's a possibility that I have to do that sentence. So I used it as practice. I was like, hey, if I have to go do 60 days, then let me practice now, you know. But I didn't shower the whole entire weekend.
Yeah.
I was going to shower there. There was one night where some guy was peeing in the shower, like on the shower, not in the toilet, and I could see him, and I woke up. And so when everyone's woke up, I was like, yo, you were peeing in the shower. Why would you do that? Please clean up the shower. It's like, hey, where did you? I was like, bro, I don't sleep. The whole entire time I've been here this whole entire weekend. I haven't slept one wink. If you see me lying down, I'm lying down, but I'm not sleeping. I'm right at the door. You know what I mean? Just in case anything funny happens. So I'm not sleeping. So it taught me that environment. And I mean, it was 3 days. It was a weekend. I had takeaways. You know what I mean? So I wasn't eating the food that everybody else was eating. My cousins brought me in. And when you've got girl cousins will overdo
I
it.
will cook well and bring.
Yeah, but also you'll bring like the whole entire thing. You know what I mean? You'll take the whole entire fish away. You'll order the whole entire fish away. So, my girl cousins came. They alternated. The one came this day. The next one came the other day. The next one came the other day. And then my mother would send me breakfast, fruits. My dad would come each and every single day. My lawyer came each and every single day. And I needed to do that to secure my bail, to prove to them that, okay, I'm not running away. I fully believe I can defend my case. And, I will appear if need be. And that was the real fear, because if I had not been granted bail, imagine I would have only come out from prison now.
Yeah, which is super scary.
You know what I mean? And prison is hell on earth. You know what I mean? There's each and every single cockroach. There's each and every single bug. There's each and every single thing that keeps you awake at night, stays there with you. It's Monsters Inc. The real thing, not the movie, not the Disney thing. So I guess it made it real. You know what I mean? And just in the back of my mind is like, I just pray that there isn't some politician that's upset somewhere that's going to try and ensure that,
that's
I
what
get
I'm saying,
sentenced for
Nota.
this.
From now on, girls that approach you are off limits.
Yeah.
Only be with a girl that you have to man up.
I have to.
You have to man up. You better grow those balls. No, I'm being honest, because at least someone you approach, then you know that okay,
tissue all over myself.
It's you. But someone that approaches you now, you don't know, is someone sent? Is there ulterior motives? What's gonna happen? So I feel like just rather play it safe than sorry. But now, as we're wrapping up, I want us to discuss the fact that you're saying that. Your accuser came out with a statement saying that she has gotten this amazing opportunity when it comes to her career, and that she has decided that she's going to withdraw the charges, and she might open them in a later stage. And I remember there are people that are even saying, oh, he got to her, like, you offered some sort of deal. Did you offer her a deal?
Okay, number one, my accuser is a liar, like a pathological liar. My accuser is someone who's got a documented mental health history. You know what I mean? So in the reality that she's creating, that statement is relevant, okay? There's no producer who's going to hire someone who runs around accusing people falsely. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no opportunity for people like that. They don't get opportunities. Unfortunately, it's just too much of a risk. You know what I mean? Number two is that the prosecution decides whether charges are withdrawn or not. So, again, she's lying about that. She did not decide to withdraw the case. Number three is that when she was informed by the prosecutors that they are withdrawing the charges, she fought to the point where she even changed her statement. So that when we appeared in court on the first occasion where they intended to withdraw the charges, they said, no, they need to further investigate it. You know what I mean? Because there's a new statement. And then it was postponed for another 2 weeks, whether they further investigated, and they still stuck to that decision. So that's the third thing. And fourthly, just look at the effort that's going in to paint the narrative, because she can see that, damn it, she's lost on all grounds. She's lost everything. So she's the one who's got something to defend. If anybody who should be shouting from the mountaintops, who should be publishing statements, it should be me. Have I done that? No. Why? Because, my innocence is already proven. The prosecution is not pursuing me for any charges.
Can I ask? Okay, finish.
And also, like, public opinion was in my favor in the first place. So I don't need to be overdoing it, proving something that is very easy to prove. So I don't need to be doing that. You know what I mean?
So the reason why they're withdrawing, is it because, what is the reason?
Well, I mean, they've got their reasons.
Okay.
So yeah,
You
they
don't
didn't.
know
They,
why.
no, they didn't go into them in court.
Okay.
That's the thing. It was a very quick thing. The state just got up and said we're withdrawing our charges, and then the judge said, "Okay, it's withdrawn. You can go." And then I was free to go. But we submitted whatever evidence. We submitted evidence that this is a conspiracy. It's a blackmail. We submitted the evidence that we had of our text messages, that anything that happened on that day, on the 4th of September, was completely consensual, and she was not violated in any way. And you know, she never refuted anything that I said in response to what her claims were. You know,
Are you gonna be pursuing charges of blackmail?
Yes, I opened a case already
So,
prior.
okay,
That's
is
still continuing.
ongoing.
That's still continuing.
Okay, are you gonna be opening a case of defamation?
No, I wouldn't open a case because that's a lawsuit.
Okay.
So I'm going to see what this process does, and then I'll see if I need to do anything more than this. I'll wait
So
for the outcome
it's-
of this. But if it was about the things that she's done to impugn my character, it wouldn't be a defamation case. It would be criminal injury. There's no amount of money that she can pay. The only thing that she can pay is time in prison, at least a minimum of 3 years. Either that, you know, or some sort of consequences, you know. But I still do want a full retraction and an apology, you know, as well, just out of courtesy.
So when the NPA, it's the prosecutors, right, are withdrawing, that was not made that she needs to apologize.
No.
A public statement.
They're not there for that.
Oh,
the
okay.
NPA just decides whether they've got a case that's
not.
prosecutable
Okay.
or not, and that's it.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't mean that they didn't exhaust all the resources needed to investigate the case. They did everything. So those resources are gone. You know what I mean? That police car that was busy attending to her, those investigators that were attending to her, all of those were denied to someone else who never got that attention because they're not high profile.
Yeah.
Do you understand? A case like mine, had I not been a high profile person, would have been dismissed, you know, already, you know, from the jump. But because they were like, oh no, this is going to be in the media, so we need to be seen to be doing the right
And
thing.
I've said the state hates embarrassment.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So again, now the state needs to contend with a complainant that's releasing messages saying, oh yes, I'll revisit the case. Number, you cannot revisit a case.
That's what I said. I thought you
cannot.
can't. If you have it withdrawn, you don't
You
have
need
the
new
option
evidence.
to go.
You need changing in circumstances. That's the only reason why you can open a case that has been previously withdrawn. So unless she alleges that there's another date in which she was violated, there was another action that's or that she was contacted and stuff like that, you know, that cannot happen. So there's nothing about that. And just to like put it out there that yes, I'm holding a rape charge over someone's head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's practically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
No,
too busy. You know what I mean?
It's absolutely crazy, honestly. I
So-
don't even want to lie.
So yeah, so just people just need to beware out there. But I mean, her actions, they harm women in more ways than just them not being believed, but them being hated. You know what I mean? If you look at the comments, I saw someone, MDN News or something, wrote about this whole entire story. And 90% of those comments, I hate my gender, or I hate that gender. So it's women that are like, damn it, women, you're making it hard for us. And then it's men that are like, oh, damn it, another reason for us to hate women. And I mean, who would want to have that reputation? As in, you're the reason why people hate women. You know what I mean? Or you're another reason why people hate women. So the complainant hasn't done herself any favors, you know. And I guess for me, you know, I'll have to endure the reporting of people that, you know, make some unsavory posts about me, you know, alluding to this incident. But, it's not all bad. When I go to the shopping center, the security guards still greet. When I go to the petrol station, the petrol attendants still greet. You know what I mean? When I go to buy meat at the taxi rank, the guys still treat me nicely. So I haven't lost my good standing in society and my reputation in that regard. And another big one, I will not be on that sex offenders list.
I saw someone saying, actually, she was basically persuaded to withdraw because of the sex offenders list is coming, and not her to make sure that he was not on that list. I literally saw that comment.
Yeah, people have got all these theories, you know what I mean? And it's so funny because I respond to so many people. I don't know why they don't just ask me. I'll probably respond.
Maybe they're afraid that you're gonna retweet and say something completely.
I mean,
I can
still retweet.
That's I don't know.
I can still
no matter
retweet,
where is it. I'm sure elsewhere they're hopefully maybe he won't see this and stuff. But
I was asked, what do I feel about the sex offenders list? I was like, yeah, I'm happy. You know what I mean? At least people will know. So Mizi's on that list, not me.
Wait, is he gonna be on that list?
Obviously, yes.
Wait, I don't even know. I feel like at this point.
Why?
I've done a 3-part with Palisa, I think let's not talk about
it. He did her wrong. It had nothing to do with you.
So I'm just
she's just telling
I don't want
story.
him to think I have something against him because I really don't. I just except for the stuff I've heard. But
it's fine.
I also want to know. Let's talk about the cost now. Plus minus, how much would you say you've spent in this case? With this case, from the 5,000 rands pay money to missing work, I'm sure you had other commitments on days.
I can't count the opportunities that I've lost, but the legal fees for everything that it's 170K so far, and I still owe 20.
That's almost 200,000. So now that it has been withdrawn, do you have now the right to can actually want her to pay for your fees, for your legal fees?
Yeah, I'd have to sue her for that. So I'd need to pay lawyers for that more. You see how costly it is to prove your innocence. And everything was covered by the state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it went to trial, the state would have fetched her, taken her to court, And it's so funny that the day the charges are being withdrawn, she's not in court. Wow. You know what I mean? Yet she was there with her parents all the other days.
So do you think she was tipped off?
About what?
That
they had to speak to her. They have to speak to the complainant and say, listen, we're withdrawing these charges. They had to speak to her, and she refused. You need to understand, she was fighting. She resisted.
So then, if that's what you're saying, why did she now lie?
I still have to pay for the case that is still continuing.
So you are actually saying that she lied to us to say that she withdrew the
yes. She can't withdraw the charges. She can't withdraw. Did that girl, that 13-year-old girl that gave birth to a Christmas baby, did she open a case against the 20-something-year-old father?
The state opened a case, so she can't even withdraw.
The state
nothing.
Opened a case against me. She made an accusation. The state made it a charge. Yes, she opened the case. You know what I mean? She didn't go to the police station and say, listen, I want to withdraw this case.
But please tell me, emotionally, because I do remember there was the time that everything was going on. I can't remember if we spoke before you handed yourself in, but I think you spoke something of that. And I asked, are you okay? And for the first time, you actually said, I'm not okay. Bruh, what do you think? I'm scared. That really broke my heart. And that's why, I couldn't even call you. I would only text because I knew a phone call I really honestly couldn't. And how does it make you feel? What were your feelings towards her? In terms of, I don't know how to word this question. This is someone that you guys have been personally together. Yeah. A couple of times. Yeah. You guys had consent.
Well, she's come to my home, yes.
Yes, she's come to your home. You guys have had consented sex. Intercourse. And now this is someone that is okay with you spending over, 15 years in jail for something that you both know the truth of what happened. How did that make you feel?
I mean, again, another woman just letting me down. I dealt with this in my marriage. You know what I mean? It's someone I treated well, someone I spent a lot of money on, lots of hundreds of thousands of rands, probably millions of rands. You know what I mean? And then when she decided that she wanted to leave the house, she went out there and said, yo, this person is abusive, or whatever, without substantiating or saying I ran for my life. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, is that when that came about, you never found any other woman saying, yes, Mhlamolo was abusive. He's abused me too. This rape allegation as well. You never say, yes, he's actually touched me. He fondled me. He said something, you know what I mean, to me. I don't get to that level unless we are on that level. You know what I mean? And also, like I said, I don't engage with women that are not clear that, yo, they're interested in me. You know what I mean? It's not even a guababa thing, because I'm not scared to talk to women. You know what I mean?
You just get to propose them.
No, like I will. It's like, I don't know. Do you play snooker or pool? You know, if you put the balls closer to the hole, you understand? I'll put the balls closer to the hole, but I'm not gonna sink it.
Why not?
Myself, I just want to be pursued.
Wow,
I like to feel desired. I like to feel wanted. It's the same thing. It's like someone would say, and then why did you say that she inserted it herself inside her? It's like, that makes me feel wanted. You understand what I'm saying?
You did say that.
Yeah, it makes me feel wanted. It does. I don't know. I like it like that. Like if you are now inserting yourself in a woman, it feels like you want it more than she does. You know what I mean?
I feel like it should be like that. But anyway, we are into different things.
Well, either way, I mean, that's one clear way to say that she consented.
Yeah.
You know, it saved me in this instance. You know, so I don't think I'll be changing that anytime soon. You know, it helped me a lot.
Okay.
But I like being pursued. I like being loved. Dude, I've got a face wash. It's 1,200 rand face wash. My mother bought it for me. You know, like crazy. I know. My mother spoils me. You know what I mean? Like all her kids, all of us. My sister gets spoiled by my mother. She buys her clothes and stuff like that. My mother will go buying clothes for my dad and then find clothes in my size that are on special and buy them for me. You know what I mean? That's how I've always been treated. That's the love language. That's the relationship I have. You know what I mean? My mother makes me my favorite porridge. You know what I mean? And all that type of. So they say that in your relationship, you try to look for love in the form that it's been role modeled to you through your family. So that's another thing. It's like, I like a woman to show effort and be affectionate.
But
My mother keeps all the love letters I've ever received.
Wow.
She's got like a little file.
From girls?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was a kid. So all my love letters, all my Valentine's cards and everything else, she's kept each and every single one of them. You know what I mean? And I'm also sentimental. There's things that I keep in my place that have got sentimental value that I don't want anyone to touch. Whether it's a valuable thing, whether it's expensive, it's just a photo. I like to keep sentimental value. So that's the type of love that I was raised on, and that's the type of love that I want as well. You know what I mean? My dad doesn't walk out of the house without my mom fixing him. Even if he's fine, she'll find something that she'll fix on him.
She'll fix.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the type of love that you want,
that's
right?
it.
For yourself.
That's what I want.
But again, as I'm saying, you know, I mean, you are saying you're not really sure, you know, was she by herself or was there anything happening behind? But then, honestly, not like I'm begging you for your own safety.
Yeah.
Now only deal with women that you approach yourself. Like at least maybe break that one rule.
Yeah.
You know, approach and please
I'll
anybody
approach,
that.
but I'm not gonna go all the way. They have to meet me halfway. I'll walk out and be like, "Are you meeting me halfway?" You know what I mean?
Or maybe go 70% way. You know. Yeah. Maybe 70 or 80%.
Like Will Smith in Hitch. You know what I mean?
90% because
you
know, honestly, like this really just is something that is really sad, and I think it is so unfortunate of the fact that, you know, you're someone who I do consider you a friend. You know, you're someone that I've known since 2021.
Yeah,
right. It's been a very long time, and so when situations like this happen, of course,
Yeah.
it's not a topic that I'm gonna not talk about.
Yeah.
And so people will always look at it as, oh, you are just being biased or
Or you're
anything like
favoring
that.
someone, yeah.
Yes. And I was never gonna come out and be on the same stance had it been that I didn't see proof, which was the text messages that you sent everyone. Those were open. Even right now, if you want to see them, you want to, get them, you can literally get them where a lot of people sometimes look at, okay, I don't like Owamie because Owamie is loud, Owamie talks too much, or Owamie has difference in opinions when it comes to certain stuff, or I don't like Owamie's opinion. And so they find a reason wherein it's like whatever comes through, she's guilty for that. And I personally just don't believe in that. I feel like everyone should pay for the sins that they've committed, and those that they didn't, I don't truly believe that they should. So I'm really, really like, happy for you.
No,
that
thank
you're
you.
here, because I don't know, like today.
Am I at the back part of the to hell and back?
What do you mean the back part?
As in, to hell and then back? Am I at the back?
Yeah, I mean, you're on your way back. You're still there.
Yeah.
Until everything I feel like is like fully done. I feel like you're still in the middle.
Until you
You're
see me walking
back
down the aisle.
You're not back yet.
Again.
You are still there. But I think it's also very, very important to also just highlight and talk about the effects that happen when you just go and you accuse someone of sexual assault. It destroys lives. It really, really, truly destroys lives. And I remember the last time you were in studio, you were actually more bubbly than you are today. Like today,
Really?
I can see you're laughing and everything, but I can see you've been
it's
through
the weather
stuff.
as well.
Is it? Are you affected by the weather, Nota?
No, it's just the weather is like, it's been like this for how many days now?
So has it
I mean?
affected you?
Now that it's like the third day of like, it's just rain.
You're feeling
what I mean?
affected.
I feel affected, but I also feel like I feel like we need easier ways to assess people's mental health. You know what I mean? Like even the complainant in this regard, I find it very hard for me to feel the type of anger I should be entitled to, because I feel like this is not a person who's well mentally. You know what I mean? Just the actions, our interactions, what I found out, and this whole entire scenario, it's very weird. You know what I mean? Even if you listen to or you look at our chats, it's as if I'm chatting to 3 different people or 3 different personalities. You know what I mean? There's a certain personality on such days, there's a certain personality on such days, another personality on other days as well. So, whatever level of mania could have convinced her that this is something that she could do. You know what I mean? For me, I feel like, had she done this 4 years ago, it would have been a totally different case. But with the amount of allegations that have gone, out, and we've seen that, okay, it wasn't really the truth, I think people have wised up to the point where she should have been able to sense that there will be resistance. People will ask her questions. It's not just going to be an "I believe you."
Yes.
We're already past
like
that
the
stage.
Me Too.
Yeah, at the beginning of the Me Too movement. So she should have anticipated that. And I found myself, feeling sorry for her, saying that, she doesn't know what she's just set herself up for. I mean, you look at someone like Lady Zamar right now, to this day, she cannot even post. She's on Threads. You know what I mean? I have a Threads account, but I don't use it.
I don't even have it.
Yeah, I have one, but it's like my Instagram posts onto my Threads and then it shares it there. I don't even check it. There's people that can't even go on social media anymore. You know what I mean? Just this past weekend, Zonke was doing a show at Monte Casino. It was packed out. You know what I mean? Lady Zamar should be able to do that, sell tickets to her shows. She doesn't have that. So she's been through it, in the worst way. And another thing is this, right? And don't take this the wrong way. It helps to be known as a pretty woman if ever you're going to be the victim of anything. We still have people that feel like you're not pretty enough to be a victim. You know what I mean? If it was someone that, you know, is lauded for her beauty, Mihlali or someone who was making an allegation against someone, she's more likely to gain sympathy. Even if she's got controversies around her, she's had abusive behavior in the past, she's more likely to gain sympathy than someone who's not known as a pretty girl. So, that is also, you know, indicative of like the type of society that we live in.
Which is such a shame.
It is a shame.
It
is
really
a shame.
is, because think about it, like with that notion, what you're saying is actually the truth. Most in reality, a lot of men will never be in a room with a Mihlali. Do you understand? But they will be in room with normal looking girls. Do you understand? And like, I'm basically like saying what you're saying, I agree fully to, in terms of people are sick. Because if you look at it, like, most men will never in their life be in the same room with like a Mihlali or a woman of like Mihlali's
alone
beauty.
in a room with her, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But it will happen with like normal looking girls. So it's like, who really are the people that if she comes and says something like this happens, should also be believed? The same women, because like, if you think about it, you understand, there's just a certain level of caliber. I don't know.
Yeah, no, the pretty politics
and
apply
pretty
there.
Privilege, I guess it also does actually apply. But yeah, it
to men as well. To men, I don't look like a criminal.
no, you don't.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that.
But if you had like a big scar here, you were like buff and you looked scary, I wouldn't even be sitting here with you.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't look threatening in that regard. So, you know, guys and girls get it. But also it says also a lot about our industry. You know, someone who's been in the industry for such a long time, you know, whether you're a child star, a child TV presenter, you shouldn't have controversies like this in your 30s or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And also, it just calls into question everything that is within your line of work. You know what I mean? If you're doing things like this, does this mean that any other television roles that you got or any other opportunities, you slept with people to get those opportunities because you're offering yourself up? You know what I mean? You're trying to use the vortex in between your thighs to negotiate.
Mr. Vortex. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? The thing that sends you to hell. That's what that vortex is for. That's why I use that word, actually.
Wow.
I entered into another dimension.
Guys, don't give Nota your vortex. Okay? Like, keep it to yourself.
Don't let it be a vortex. You know what I mean? Let it be reciprocal.
But now, you know, since I know you're very close with your parents, your sibling, obviously your siblings, how did this affect your family?
Well, obviously, they took it hard. It's just, you know, my siblings, I mean, not just my siblings. My parents have siblings too. So my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, you know, the whole entire family. Yeah, and, you know, they just told me that, you know, we know you better than anybody else, and we know that you wouldn't be capable of doing something like this. And we're with you, we support you, and they've supported me. And I guess it was another test of the strength of our family bonds again. And yeah, I'm just so fortunate that, you know, although my family is not perfect, we are very much loyal
To each other.
to one another. And I'm sure they're very relieved themselves. You know, I still haven't seen my mom yet.
Okay.
Actually, I did see my mom. Sorry, yes. I did see my mom the other day, but very briefly. But I went straight back to my place after court. I didn't go to my parents' place. But I'm hoping that, you know, we can have a good, nice oxtail Sunday lunch.
In celebration.
No, not in celebration. I mean, oxtail, it takes so much to cook in the slow cooker. it's just so much nicer when my mom makes it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get that. Okay,
You know what
I get that.
So she can just make me some nice oxtail, you know, enough for me to take home and eat supper for 2 nights at least. That'll be good. So I still want that. My birthday is coming up. Our birthdays are coming up. So it's my mother's birthday first on the 2nd of March. My dad's birthday on the 9th of March. And mine is on the 20th of March. So there's a lot of family.
Much,
Yeah.
much family.
Yeah, Pisces, all of us. So, you know, there'll be that. And then my little brother's birthday is on the 9th of April, which is just before Easter. So there's a lot of opportunity for me to spend time with the family coming up. And I'm just glad that I don't have this cloud hanging over me or this stress hanging over me as we get into that. And yeah, man, I'm ready to work. You know what I mean? I'm ready to take up. I was doing a whole lot of speaking engagements before this whole entire thing. So I lost all of that. And I was doing a lot of government work. And a lot of it I didn't charge the government for. You know what I mean? And just when I'm thinking of sending invoices. This happens. And then it's like, eish. And you know, the worst thing about it is like, you don't even want to send proposals or presentations because you don't want the person to be like, hey, this one's got this and now he's...
I mean, but you know, if it was me, I think I would actually put out a statement, just telling the truth, or like it actually is the state, or rather the prosecuting team that actually withdrew, and I would honestly pin it. Because the narrative that is actually flying out there is that she got this amazing opportunity and she withdrew. And I'm telling you, majority of the people, if you go to the comment section of that post, are basically saying that, oh, Nota got to her. Like, Nota offered her something. Nota this and that. But
that's fine.
At least with this interview, people will get to know the truth.
So like, yes, that's also true. And thank you for this opportunity to speak about this matter. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, I just want it to be over quickly. I feel like I'm adding more fuel to this whole entire story. You know what I mean? I got the news that these charges have been withdrawn on the same day, on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
On the same day that Jay-Z and P. Diddy got the news that
they are being accused.
Dismissed, so it was a good day for all of us.
Yeah, it got dismissed, yeah?
Yeah.
That
the
one that she...
Yeah,
Okay.
The Tony Busby thing. And he's the same lawyer that brought most of the charges against Diddy as well.
Okay.
So, you know, it was at least a good day for all of us in that instance. But as going forward, we'll see this opportunity. If it materializes, this opportunity that she speaks about. Okay. And again, I guess she did a TikTok live, did she not?
I didn't
She did. She did a long TikTok live at the beginning of this trial.
Oh, yes, you know at the beginning of the trial, yes. And,
so,
you know she was talking, her body language was very...
If the prosecution withdraws this case, even if they don't charge, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. She was already explaining...
before it actually happened.
And if you believe that you've been violated, why are you explaining such things?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of things that
and if you're already violated and you believe that you were violated and they tell you that they are withdrawing, wouldn't you fight it?
Yeah.
Or wouldn't you at least say, listen, the state had withdrawn the case, but I still stick to...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Instead of
saying, you know, I'm just moving on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So only crazy people will support that.
In a later time. Wow. That's, you know what I mean? That's really like, yeah, it actually is
I'm going to abuse the public's trust. I'm going to abuse the state. I'm going to abuse the prosecutors. You know what I mean? Now the prosecutors need to answer questions because I forgot what's her name. I think it's Pumla. The lady who's the spokesperson for the prosecution authority. She needs to now answer calls from the media. Hey, we hear
that she withdrew, and
she
from what we know,
you
can't, because I think it was a new law that actually came in last 2023. I think that with GBV you can no longer withdraw if you open. It's there, like you no longer have. So I remember, I think it was 2023, right, somewhere there. So yeah, they definitely will have to make a statement. I guess I'm shocked that they actually have not made a statement.
Yeah, it's all the media. Actually, there was so much media when the accusations came out.
Yeah.
Very little now.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Like, you know, it's
so,
actually quite
you know what I mean?
crazy.
So it's like, oh, okay, clearly we know what the editors are trying to get done. But I've got my freedom.
Yeah. Which is like what money can't even buy.
But you know what I mean?
And like, I will not lie to you, like paying lawyers sucks. And because when you pay them, you're like at a point of desperation. You're like, I'm hiring you, I need this.
Yeah.
And the moment like things pan out, you're like, damn it, I could have even saved money. Like, but at that time you will try and guess the best of the best, because you obviously don't want to go to jail. You don't want to take a chance with your freedom.
You can't take a
That's
chance
true.
with your freedom. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's why my family was like, yo, whatever you need, we'll help you. My friends were like, whatever you need, we'll help you. Because they're like, we cannot take a chance with your freedom. We need to get you the best criminal defense attorneys possible. And, they just so happen to be vendor.
But wow, I was going to ask. Vokorombi.
Colombia attorneys.
I think now looking at everything that happened, was those few minutes of the vortex even worth it?
The few minutes in the vortex,
it
wasn't that short.
Okay,
you know what I mean. It wasn't.
So it was worth it. Wow.
It wasn't that quick. No, I've had time to actually reflect on it. It wasn't actually that quick.
Okay.
But on the balance of things, I'd rather these types of tests happen to me early in my life while I'm still young. You know what I mean? And that I am able to overcome them. So I'm glad that I've been tested and I've survived many tribulations, many trials. You know what I mean? And, dude, I could be like the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, and then this happens, and then I lose everything.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's happening now. I'm smarter. I will move better in future and try not to get myself entangled like I have right now going forward. And then, what does that guy say? Kijile. What am I gonna say?
No, just stop it.
I mean, what am I gonna say?
No.
There's nothing I can say. It's like, do I regret it? Of course. I regretted it the moment she left my place. You know what I mean? I regretted it even before I did it. I thought about it. I was like, should I let this person? And I did think about it. I was like, and then I just decided, let me just get this person out of the way. You know what I mean? Give them what they want and it'll be over. You know what I mean? And she wanted to give herself a whole chapter in my life story. So, that's that chapter. And I wish her the best in whatever she pursues. I hope she gets whatever help she needs so that she doesn't find herself endangering her life in the way she's already done, going forward. But as for the extortion that happened to me, and the vilifying that I've had to endure, the defamation of my character, there needs to be consequences for that.
Yeah.
Not just for me, but for anybody else. And I'm fortunate that I've got a voice to speak for myself and defend myself, and I've got means to acquire the legal assistance that I need to ensure that I get my justice. And that's that. Other than that, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So we leave it all up into God's capable hands. Let karma deal with them. And and to all the ninjas, you know what I mean? Whether or not they were supportive or not, you know what I mean? You can't be fully supportive without knowing the full facts. So for those who weren't, got nothing against them. And to those who were, thank you. And to just everybody else out there, in the public. I just like to let them know that I'm on my way to recovering.
Yeah.
And I don't hate women.
Are you sure?
I cannot. I can never hate women. I can never hate women. You know what I mean? I don't hate women.
It's clear some of the things you just tweet because you don't follow them, not. I mean, you had a whole woman with a child. You were playing with her child. I was shocked.
I play with kids all the time. I play with all the
No,
children.
but I'm talking about like a partner's child. The way that you would.
Yeah, but I didn't see her as my partner. You know what I mean? But like even other than that, like I had like, I guess I could call her my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And she also had a child.
She has a son.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, she's back with her baby daddy now. That's how they are.
Okay. So maybe that's why you're so against.
Single mothers will break your heart.
That's what I'm saying.
Times
it's more
two.
of like a heart issue.
Yeah, well, for me, it's not even about her. Her son is so cute. He's so smart.
You fall in love with the son as well.
I mean, that's an innocent child.
Yeah, I know,
it's
right?
Very easy.
That's why we should stay away from people with.
Yes, we should.
At least when you have your own, when you break up with someone with a child, you have a child to fall back to. But when you don't have a child, you end up missing the child.
The child was at the garage with his grandfather the other day.
You saw him?
I had to run away. I had to run into the car. Just so they doesn't see me. He was like, oh my goodness,
you don't want to give him a hug.
It's going to be traumatizing. You know what I mean?
It seems like your dating life is a mess right now.
Yeah, the dating game is a mess. That's why I got married. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why, like, I already knew that the streets were done
dry.
for. That's why I didn't want to get divorced, because I was like, damn,
to
throw
go
me
back
out
to
these streets.
They throw you back.
Into these streets. These are the worst streets
I
ever.
mean, it's nothing to laugh
No,
about.
they're the worst streets. Oh, the streets are bad. You know exactly how bad they are.
The streets are bad. Look at you now.
Dude,
where
you know what I mean? It's like, damn, okay, and I go back to my bad marriage. You know what I mean? The streets.
My bad.
Yeah, I'd rather have a bad, like the streets. Like, no, like, you'd rather go back.
Clearly your marriage wasn't bad enough. I wouldn't go back to mine for any reason. I don't care how.
My marriage wasn't bad at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it
yours
wasn't
okay.
bad at all. It was just like a switch flipped and then it was over. But it was like 1,066 days that we were happy, and only 3 that we weren't.
Okay.
Out of 1,069 days. And
you've even counted.
I count every day.
Wow.
There isn't a day I miss. I don't drink.
Wow.
So, I don't miss time.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm very sentimental. Do you know what I mean? I'm very sentimental. So I remember dates, everything, So like now I need to find someone that was either like all my anniversaries. I need someone who's got a birthday on my previous anniversaries so I can replace those anniversaries sentimentality. Like, let's say you and I were together and our anniversary
was on the 15th of June.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, that was the day after I got divorced. So I need to find
another one. Okay, the 3rd of November.
Either way. I'm just saying, the 3rd of November. Let's just say the 3rd of November. Now I'll need to find someone who's either birthday or something important on the 3rd of November so that I can replace, because I will never forget that, hey, the 15th of June is your birthday.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or whatever, or our anniversary. So now I need to make new memories on top of all those milestone dates. So far, so good. At least I've covered my actual Home Affairs signing day, 10th of May. So I've covered that. I found some new occasion that covers the 10th of May. The 10th of May.
Well,
now I just need to cover the
live.
26th of June and the 14th of June.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the other 2 dates.
Only days that,
Yeah.
Wow, I guess you should find a way to fill them. I'll help you where I can. Maybe we should put out an ad. Were you born on the 26th of June or the 24th? You might be not as candidate.
You said I must approach them. You said I must.
Yes.
I can't approach them if you're putting out an ad for me.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So when you meet someone, just ask, when is your birthday?
I've thought of going to church, but then I realized that that's where they all go to retire.
I'm not even gonna get into that with you.
So I'm serious. So church, no, it's no good. Bars, restaurants, it's no good. girls don't read anymore, so libraries. Or the libraries, no. The libraries are filled with the ones that are studying their postgraduate and they've got kids and they've got a job that they hate. So they're just, not the nicest. I mean, you can't talk to someone in a library. You know what I mean? You can't. Or you can buy them a PS chocolate and then put your phone numbers on it and hope that they'll call you. But they've got so much stress. You know what I mean? And they probably won't appreciate that. So it's very hard to find spaces where you can meet people right now. You know what I mean? Now I have to scroll through LinkedIn as well, because at least you want someone who's got a job, who's not going to be a burden. You know what I mean? It's better, I think. I think LinkedIn is better than Instagram if you're looking. I mean, what? At least have a job. At least have a job. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At least then I know you're committed to something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I
like earning a living.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having
joining me or joining us here. And I think that one thing that I can actually say is, you see, with the same situation that happened with Lady Zama.
Yeah.
I said it before it was even withdrawn or anything like that.
Yeah,
or
I did.
You understand? Like, if you watch my channel, you know that
I
had the stance. And I was attacked. I've been called a rape apologist or anything. And I say, I honestly am not someone that's like against women talking or speaking out. I want it to be like that. I want us all to be free. Just don't come with a story that doesn't make sense. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunately, I'm not really an emotional thinker. I'm mostly a logical thinker.
Well,
so I will put
you're
things
on the other side of 30 as well. So like, sometimes like there's a lot of women that you're not 18 or 17 anymore. Sometimes you need to be able to think like.
But I mean, I find that even my peers, some of them will be calling me.
But that's the thing, is that's the disappointing part for me. Like, at a certain stage, women need to be able to be mature. There's a lot of women that are older that think like teenagers, like that are unable to reason. You know what I mean?
So what I'm saying is that, and I said this in my last video, was that for me, with that situation with her, the issue for me was that you cannot come and tell me that, oh, you were with a man for like almost 2 years, secretly, obviously, or privately. And after that relationship is over, you then come out and tell us that the first night that you guys had intercourse, this person sexually assaulted you. But you went on to have a relationship with this person. For me, that did not make sense. And that's why I was asking. The same way that for you, I was asking, how is it that you can have a man and you claim the man violated you, but your first instinct is that I want to be in a relationship with you, a public relationship, I want to be introduced to your family, we have to be in a serious relationship. How do you even want a man you claim violated you to still have access to you and your body, the same body that he violated? For me, that does not make sense. And again, I don't believe that someone will be making bargains when you've been violated in that way. So that's basically it. And remember, like, that is my opinion. But at least at this point, even like, the NPA actually saw everything, and you do say that you had proof of her exes that she has done similar things. And they ended up even withdrawing the case. And then I think it will definitely look good for her, for the fact that she now came out and lied to the public. Again.
You know what I mean? And lying to a public that knows these things. Like, there were people, I saw the people that just bought the story, and then there were people that quoted the actual acts. You know what I mean? Saying, hey, she can't have just withdrawn this case. You know what I mean? So the truth will come out. That's the thing, is that the truth is always there. But I think I want to leave it with this. If something like this were to happen to my sister, right? Whoever the perpetrator would be very lucky if the cops get to him first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. And if something like this were to happen to my sister, I would want her to tell me exactly what happened so that I am actually sure. You know what I mean? Myself. I would want to go through a story, if not just to prove that it's valid, to also ensure that I'm giving her all the help she needs to ensure she's got a solid case. You understand what I'm saying? So in this instance, you know, when the story first came about, it's like, oh, she was speaking to her cousin, or she was speaking to another family member, a third party. That's how the city press put it. You know what I mean? When they were still distributing printed papers each and every single weekend. Now they're just a blog. They're like you.
So I'm just a blog.
I mean, you know how they used to believe that they're
Wait,
better?
they don't print out anymore?
No, it's all online.
You lie.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And
Yes.
I won't even get into
Yeah,
that. But
don't get into that, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah, so Julia and them are all working online, just like Owamie now.
Oh,
We are all in the same.
Welcome. Feel at home.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when that story first came out, I was like, the person who she told the story to, can they not tell that the story makes zero sense whatsoever? Another thing is that I hear is that there's people that say things like, yeah, but just because a woman comes to your place doesn't mean it's consent. Let's not be stupid. You're a grown woman. I'm a grown man. We're not going on a play date at, what is that, Bambanani's or whatever, Panarotti's or Spur or whatever the case may be at McDonald's. You're not going for a play party. You understand what I'm saying? You don't go into a man's home unless you're comfortable enough to the point where you can even say straight out front, we're not getting intimate. Or if you are getting intimate, you are prepared for something like that. You know what I mean? That just needs to be the case. You cannot say that you're not implying that you're comfortable enough with someone if you come into their home. You know what I mean? Especially if you come into their bedroom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the trick that every guy plays, is try to see, oh, are you willing to come into my bedroom? If you're willing to come into my bedroom, you're showing me signs.
I think that what I truly honestly do believe in is the fact that don't go into a man's place, not even bedroom. Like, don't even go to his apartment, don't even go to his home. If you know that you're not ready. And I know that there are people that will say, oh, I mean, you are whatever. But think about it, like, you going into that man's home, you're already putting yourself in danger. If it is that you don't want to do anything with this guy, you're putting yourself in a position where this person can overpower you, this person can, you understand? So I personally just say that do not go to any man's home. Do not go to his car, you understand?
Don't.
Like, just...
And girls also, don't go to a man's home to fetch his jersey because it's cold on your way home in the Uber. All those types of things. Like, even the young girls, they do it. Go to your girlfriends. You do have friends that are girls.
Don't let this man trick you.
Do you understand?
Into
Like,
stuff like that.
either don't go to a guy. You're putting yourself in a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, if that's the case, then don't be surprised if people are asking you questions, because, you know, your story is not that someone came to you in your house while you were alone and then violated you. The story is that you volunteered yourself into that situation because you went over to that person where you'd be vulnerable.
Which, you know we're not also saying that as a man, you now have a right to violate a woman if she comes to your house.
That wasn't even the suggestion.
I think, sorry, we should clarify that. But I'm also saying, as a woman, for your safety, do not go to a man's house.
Don't.
If you know you're not ready.
Don't.
Please, like, period. Don't do it, you know. So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of education that is needed when it comes to to consent. I am really, really saddened over the fact that these celebrities that we have, some of them, they make light of rape so much that even young kids that are growing, they now see it as it's not that big of a deal. Like, in terms of the girls feel like it's not that big of a deal to falsely accuse a guy, and the guys feel like, the boys feel like it's not that big of a deal to rape a girl, because it's like it has been made sort of like almost like a joke. You know, rape is now something that someone can use to bargain to get something that they want, and you know, and people don't understand that even if you sleep with a guy and he had promised you money and doesn't give you, he didn't rape you, he robbed you. You know, that's a complete different case overall. Rape is when somebody forces themselves on you, you know. And so I think that we really do need...
Or takes advantage of the fact that you're a minor.
Yes, or take advantage of the fact that you're a minor. Obviously, that one I feel like everybody knows. So, because at that age, you can't even consent.
I mean, okay, let's say that, or that you're young. It's like, yes, there are many sexually active 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds. You know what I mean? But you know if you are too old for these girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there are guys that take advantage of that. And there's too many women that allow this behavior. For me, it's like there's too many celebrations of relationships that are inappropriate. You know, even now at the Shembe church, there were young virgins marrying old men and stuff like that. And society is not calling that out.
Well, I think we are trying, it's just that we are not, society is really not, especially around them.
Can I tell you why? Because we've got TV shows like My Body Works For Me. We've got TV shows like the Perfect Catch or whatever this catch, Love Island and all these things. And who watches these TV shows? It's kids. They're playing on kids' prime time. You're showing them that, oh, yes, sex is a game. You know what I mean? We even have a TV show to see who's going to have sex with this girl or who's going to have sex with this guy or whatever. You know what I mean? Whether or not they're showing their sex, that's the implication. Every show is about sex on TV. Every show on Showmax has a sex scene. Do you know what I mean? Every single thing. Even the Blood and Waters and all these things, the kids' TV shows, they've got some sexual type of content showing that they're normalizing high school kids in school uniform having sexual relations. It's normalized. You know, like when I was in high school, finding a girl that had sex was like real, like a real, like, what? She's had sex? Like when girls got pregnant in school, I was like, oh, she was having sex. Oh my God.
Well, now it's a norm.
You know what I mean? Like, and even this thing of like, I'm going to wait until 21. Like, 21 is too young of an age, because what happens is that you wait until 21 and then you catch up with everything that you missed over the past 7 years. You know what I mean? And then you're back at this with the same body count as the ones who started when they were 14. You know, by the time you're in your 20s and you're damaged. Like, you need to wait.
Well, I wouldn't
you know what I mean?
Damaged, but
no, it is damaged. Okay, I'll put it to you like this, right? It is damaging to be that intimate with someone that is not willing to raise a family with you, because you are playing with the family jewels. You're playing with the things that it takes you, and it works on your mind. It's a mentality thing. And if you look at the girls that have been very promiscuous, that have either had multiple baby daddies or had multiple sexual relationships and everything else, none of them find happiness. None of them. 0% of them find happiness. 0% of them find happiness. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the completely unmarried, not the ones that went through a bad marriage, got divorced or whatever. They don't find happiness. And also, they're the ones who are most likely to be the victims of femicide. You know what I mean? They're the ones that then find some crazy lunatic guy who decides to either, abuse them or try and murder them or even murder them, you know? And it's sad that we have to say some of these things, because these are the things that you're supposed to be learning from home, from your mothers, your grandmothers. There's no good home training of women anymore. You know what I mean? On how to carry themselves on urbanism.
Well, anyway, that camera just went off. Anyway, I feel like, we definitely need to leave because it has been over 2 hours. But thank you, Nota, for actually joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This was quite a long one, but I am happy that, it seems things worked out for you, or rather, like, the truth has basically come out, you know. So, man, do go and comment down below. I know that this will have mixed
And
emotions.
what are those earrings?
Which ones? This ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They're very elaborate. They look like Versace or something.
Well, anyway.
My eyesight is terrible, but they do.
They do. No, I actually got them at Lovisa, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen that show.
So I don't know. I don't know if it was Lovisa or whatever, but I don't know. But I love them.
No, very nice.
Thank you. But anyway, just thank you guys so much for joining us. Love you. Bye.